Rejection hurts. I get it. But did you also know that embracing rejection in the right way is the fastest way towards success and growth? Stay till the end. If you are a high achiever and you are trying to get your next goal faster, this video is for you. My name is Yiqing. I help high achievers transcend their childhood trauma and become the most vibrant, authentic, bold versions of yourselves. Okay? So stay till the end. Oh, I'm also writing a book, so stay tuned for that. Okay, here are 3 ways to embrace rejection and make them work for you. Okay? Your rejections work for you. You don't work for your rejections. You don't work to get rejected. You embrace the rejection so that they can work for you. This is the key mindset you want to embrace before starting implementing the specific steps that I am going to tell you next. The first one is you have to separate yourself, your self-worth, from rejections. Rejection hurts because we let our self-worth, or at least self-esteem, okay, there's a difference. Check this video for that. We let that tied to rejections. Every time you get a rejection, it makes you feel less worthy. If that's the case, you need to understand that rejections do not define who you are. Repeat after me. Rejections do not define who you are. Or in this case, as an affirmation, rejections do not define who I am. Rejections have nothing to do with my self-worth. Rejections are not a reflection of my self-worth. And a lot of times, rejections are not even a reflection of your abilities. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Okay? So be very clear with that. And be very mindful that rejections have nothing to do with your self-worth. Once you understand this, you will have a very neutral view towards rejections and you will not get emotional. Friends, my friends, that is the key, is that you do not get emotional in the face of adversity and rejections. You stay in your lane, okay? If you get emotional, that will make you, throw in the towels, it will make you quit, it will cause all the dramas. So the point is, do not let rejections affect your emotions. And the number 1 way to do that is to separate your self-worth from rejections. Okay, that's tip number 1, okay? And that's the first thing that you should start implementing today. Number 2 is that I want you, now that you have the right mindset, I invite you to seek out more rejections. Here's the thing, rejection is not a problem, okay? Everybody has been rejected a bazillion times if they are successful. You look at those successful entrepreneurs, celebrities, movie stars, whoever you look up to, right? Everybody has been rejected a bazillion times. The thing is, most of us don't even get to the bazillion rejections in our lifetime. If you have a steady 9 to 5, you want to change, but you're also like, well, I'm actually very comfortable and happy with where I'm at, chances are you're not even seeking rejections at all. You don't even have enough rejections in your life. And when you don't have enough rejections, you're not used to them. Once you have one, they hurt really bad, okay? So it's a muscle. If you really want to create your own brand, create your business, your career, or even just try something new that you currently suck at. For example, that's how I learned to swim, right? You got to have more rejections. Seek them out. If you want to look for a new job, start with submitting to 3 to 5 jobs a day. You will hear crickets, I assure you. You will have a lot of rejections. They would just straightforward telling you that you are not qualified, or they are moving towards a different direction, or they are moving towards someone who has more experience, whatever that is, right? Most likely it's crickets. That's a form of rejection. If you want to date, you want to ask someone out, all right, do that. And sometimes you get ghosted. I've got ghosted plenty of times, right? That's also a form of rejection. So I want you to seek those things out. in a way that you will, of course, you got to pace yourself. It's not like you're doing nothing else and just try rejections all day. You also got to work on your stuff, right? Which is my next point. But for now, I want you to pull up an Excel sheet and have 3 columns. The first one is date. The second one is the name of the thing that you're trying for. And the third is status. So each day when you submit for a job, when you put something out there, it can be content, it can be whatever that is, right? You put something out there, or you ask someone out, or whatever opportunities you're going after, write it down and have the status. Every time you get a no, you write down a no. I want you to start collecting 100 no's from now on, okay? That is what was taught to me by my mentors. Collect 100 no's. If you have 1 yes in this journey of collecting no's, you got to start over. Guess what, my friend? I've been doing this for years. I have never gotten 100. I have not even gotten 50. A few times 30. But most likely after 10 or 20 no's, I get a yes. Can you handle 10 or 20 no's? Of course you can. Then you get a yes. Okay? And even if you cannot, just go until you get 100. But most likely you're not going to get 100 because you are going to get a yes somewhere here in this journey. Try it. Okay? It really holds you accountable and gives you the momentum to keep going. Because like I said, you do not even have enough rejections. It's a numbers game, okay? Number third is that you want to use rejections as information and feedback. If you keep doing the same things over and over, that's what Einstein would call craziness, right? And that's also the fastest way towards burnout, because when you are doing the same things over and over again, first, you are not thinking effectively, or maybe you're not even thinking. You're not adapting. Adapting is the ability that puts you on the fast track towards success, okay? It's not about how smart you are, but actually about how fast you can adapt. And embracing feedback and make changes based on feedback to make it better, that's a way of adaptation. And you need to do it very fast. How do you do it fast? Is that you put things out there fast, seek out more rejections in a shorter amount of time, and put out new versions of it faster. We are looking at 2 things here. We're looking at the sheer quantity, which is getting 100 no's, or getting even more no's if you so desire, right? Getting a lot of rejections, that's a sheer quantity, is because you actually have to produce something to be rejected for. If you have nothing to produce, then you get to be rejected for nothing. That's also how you stay stuck, because you have no output, right? So you want to look for that. You also want to look for quality, but quality comes after quantity. So after you start putting things out for a bit and you hear crickets, then you need to adapt your things, learn, take classes, put your content or whatever submissions or whatever materials in front of mentors that you trust, in front of peers that you trust, be it a writer's room, a mastermind, whatever kind of group or community you're in. Put it out there for their feedback and produce a new version based on their feedback. This process also needs to be fast, okay? Because if you do not adapt fast enough, someone else will. But you do want to become that someone else who can actually produce fast results. And that's how you create results. That is the upward spiral that gives you the success and growth that you are aiming for. It's that simple, okay? But it's not easy. So I want you to start from today is first, this is a recap, first, understand that rejections work for you. And rejections do not define your worth. This is the foundation, the mindset. Second, seek out more rejections, collect 100 no's and start over. Third, adapt and change after rejection. Use them us information and feedback and change. Sometimes it's just one tiny little tweak each time. Okay, but you do want to have these changes in place. And I can tell you this, number 2 and number 3, the quantity and the quality, they can coexist. So I want you to keep creating new things while refining the old things that you created. Refining and keep creating new and make this a upward spiral. That's the way to go. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to stay tuned, yes, you would like to stay tuned. Okay, I am writing a book about transcending childhood trauma through humor because I'm also a stand-up comedian. I will talk more about that later. But for now, please comment, share, like, and of course, subscribe. I have more videos for you to check out. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.